Hi, I'm Erin, and I've got a really interesting product to show you. Dave.
Yes.
What are you doing?
It's known as vacuuming.
Why?
Because you told me to clean up, or you'd make me listen to you talk about fashion again for another hour.
First of all, that would be a delight. And second of all, I've got a solution that's slightly less outdated. Dreame has sent us this D9 vacuum.
Just a thought though, Erin. We're more of a tech channel rather than household appliances.
This is a robot vacuum, and it has lasers.
Well, lasers certainly sounds cool, but look around you. We're in a studio, there's gear everywhere. Where are we going to be able to test this?
I actually know a really good place for this.
Wow, we're in our new studio. That's very clever of you, Erin.
I know. What are you wearing?
Well, this is my apron.
It's not your colour.
Nothing is. Anyway, nice to be in the new studio, although it is so new that we haven't painted it yet or put any soundproofing up. So apologies for the sound in this video because it'll be full of echoes and sound absolutely terrible. But I do see, Erin, you've very cleverly magicked us up a rug as well so that we can test this robotic vacuum on an office style carpet and also a slightly deeper pile carpet with the rug. But how are we going to do the testing?
I bought a bunch of glitter.
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 So what you're telling me is that forevermore we're going to be vacuuming glitter out of this carpet?
Yeah, pretty much.
So whilst Erin's going off to get her buckets of glitter, I'll just quickly show you the Dreame D9 robot vacuum. We've got it set up here on its charging dock, so it sits here quite happily charging its battery. It's quite a compact unit, and interestingly on the top it's got LiDAR navigation. It'd be interesting to see how effective that is a little bit later. Erin, have you got your stuff yet?
I have the things.
That is a big box of shiny small things for the vacuum. So what are we going to do with these?
I'm going to throw these on the carpets, and then we're going to watch that Hoover all of them up.
Okay, so two things. First of all, Hoover is a brand name. It's called vacuuming. And secondly, your boots. If we take some of these beads, we'll put some on this office style carpet. I don't think the vacuum's going to have any problem picking those up. And then we're going to try and bury some into this rug as well and see how it gets on with that.
Nice.
Let's do it. That is a big glittery mess.
It is.
There's only one thing left to do.
Hoover.
Vacuum.
The robot is starting the cleanup.
Hopefully you're getting a sense of how the robot works. It seems to have mapped out the perimeter of the room and then it's working out, zigzagging its way across the floor. In fairness, Erin, it is doing a pretty good job of picking up your shiny bits and pieces.
It is.
So it hasn't picked everything up, but what it would say is if you look at the lines that the wheels have left on this rug, they're very parallel and straight, aren't they? It's obviously very accurate. But what I'm keen to see now is what happens when it needs to recharge and it needs to go back home. That was amazing.
It was pretty cool.
I know it's supposed to do it, but it's still pretty amazing to see it. It's like we're living in the 21st century, Erin. There's a robot doing our housework for us.
Have you ever seen iRobot?
I have, but I don't think the Dreame D9 is going to take over the world just yet.
I don't trust it.
Okay. Did you see though how it went around the legs of the tripod for our camera here? And I just wonder how good the obstacle avoidance is. How would it handle something a little bit more delicate?
I've got something for this.
Okay.
Jenga.
Okay. I am just going to revert back to the brand name discussion though. This isn't Jenga, this is Family Stack'em.
Same thing.
Shall I build a tower?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I want to build a tower, I'm just going to do it for the sake of the video.
You can go build your tower.
Okay, thank you. I'm pretty pleased with my construction, Erin. Considering you were handing me knockoff Jenga bricks, I think I've done a pretty good job with it.
It's very not straight.
No, I think that's your eyes.
It's the whole Leaning Tower of Pisa thing going on.
No, it's fine.
It's okay to be wrong.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to switch on the Hoover and we're going to see if this knocks it over.
Vacuum. Is it this time, do you think?
Yeah.
Please don't knock it. No, don't knock it over.
How speedy he's going.
No, no, no! No! No, stop!
Well, it's nice to be back in the office, Erin. It was freezing at the new studio.
It was.
But this was good fun to test. And I was pretty impressed actually at how much of the glitter it picked up.
It did a quite good job actually.
I did have to do a small amount of additional vacuuming at the end.
It brought me a lot of joy.
Erin, how did we end up with a robot vacuum on the channel to test?
Well, Dreame emailed us and was like, hi, we want to send you a vacuum, and we're like, nobody's going to watch that because it won't be of any interest. But they actually said that our audience is the same as our customer demographic.
So I'm guessing you guys out there would be interested in a robot vacuum. I have to say, I think it's a really good thing. It doesn't replace a normal vacuum. You know, there are times where you've just got to get the vacuum out of the cupboard, but having this on a timer, just sort of coming out and cleaning a floor, I think it's a great thing. A real time saver. What do you think about the overall design of the device?
I think it looks really nice actually. It's quite sleek.
We did name him, didn't we?
You named him.
I named him Zach. Zach the Vac. And I'll tell you why, if I can turn it around, because it sort of looks a little bit like it's got a face, doesn't it? So this is the Dreame, and it's spelled D-R-E-A-M-E, so it might be Dreamy. I'm just going to say Dreame, I don't know. They call this the Dreame Bot D9 Max. It's easy to empty as well. Just pull this panel up. You notice you get a brush inside.
That's exciting.
It's quite useful if you need to clean the underside, which we'll have a look at in a minute. And there's just this cartridge that you pull straight out, and you can empty it into the bin. And there's a filter on the back of the cartridge, which you can use the brush on to keep it clean.
Very nice.
It holds quite a bit of debris in there. Dead insects, glitter, all of that kind of stuff.
Lots of glitter.
We obviously emptied it after the testing. We definitely didn't put it in your bag, Erin. So the runtime specs for this Dreame Bot D9 Max, have I said that right?
I don't know.
It's 150 minutes runtime, and it takes 300 minutes to charge. So in normal speed, that's 5 hours charging time, 2.5 hours runtime. It's got a lithium-ion battery in there, which is 5,800 milliamp hours. I have nothing to compare that with. Anyway, it's certainly got enough power, and the motor is powerful enough to take it across a whole variety of surfaces. We've tried it on a wooden floor. That works really well. It works really well on the thin carpet and also on the thick pile carpet as well. It also detects as well if it's gone over a stair, so it won't fall down the stairs.
Unless you kick it.
Unless you kick it. And it's got a beater brush on the underside, so it does actually do a really good job of cleaning that carpet.
What is a beater brush?
A spinning brush.
Oh, cool.
It beats the carpet, beats the dust up into the path of the vacuum. And it also has that cool little spider arm as well, the 3 brushes that spin around. So I'm just going to interrupt here to show you the smartphone app. And this is the Dreame Bot working its way around the outside of my kitchen. And it's interesting to see how the LiDAR has mapped the room and also picked up some of the adjoining rooms and even the outdoor patio through the glass doors. The bot works its way around the island quite happily. You can see that on the map, and it's using that same zigzag pattern that we saw in the studio to ensure full coverage. No problem avoiding the dining table, and if you look closely you can see the spinning LiDAR sensor on the top here. It docks itself to charge when finished, and then the app notifies you that that's happened. The app has a few more features and provides some useful information on the status of the bot, and there's potential for multi-floor mapping if you move the bot to different locations in your house. There are some settings for notifications, and you can set do not disturb times. There's even different power modes for the vacuum and for the water flow if you have the mop attached. You can schedule cleans to start automatically, or you can set the bot going manually from your phone. And the app has timers built in for reminding you when you need to change the cleaning components, and I think that's pretty useful. If you do fancy driving the bot yourself, there is a remote control feature, and that might be useful for spot cleaning, but you can also define a smaller area for the bot to focus on automatically. There's plenty of functionality here. So as we saw in our testing, the obstacle avoidance with this robot is actually really good. I'm sure it knocked over my tower, but
Terribly built tower.
But for the most part, this does a really good job of avoiding obstacles. Erin, what did you think about the way the robot tackled the room?
It was actually really cool. It like went around the outside and like mapped it and then like zigzagged back and forth.
It did. It covered the whole floor area. It was really quite remarkable. And then each time you use the robot after that, it just follows the same route. Just one thing to note is that if you leave the doors to the room open, it will go into the next room as well.
Don't leave your front door open.
Probably best not to. So just looking at the robot itself, you've got this kind of bumper plate at the front, which is for the obstacle detection. The LiDAR scanner on the top, which obviously helps with that as well. Underneath the driving wheels, which have got this nice sort of grippy tyre, which is why it's so good at getting over things. And you can see that these are on a kind of springing system, so it's a very nice design. At the front you've got a wheel which turns, that's how it changes direction, and the beta brush in the middle. Are there any other cool features that you know about?
It comes with a mop attachment.
That doesn't look like a mop, in fairness.
What do you think a mop? That is a mop. It's like one of those flat mops.
I don't do a lot of mopping.
I do a lot of mopping.
Do
It's
you?
like a, yeah. It's like a flat mop. It just kind of like, it's not like a proper like mop where you can get like all the stains
A mop
away.
mop.
A mop. It's like one of those ones that's just kind of like gently cleans floors. If you put like bleach water in it, then it would
Bleach
like,
water in the mop.
then you can sanitize your floors.
I feel like our quality of content has gone downhill.
I blame you entirely.
It has a mop anyway. We didn't get a chance to test that. I don't think it'd work very well with carpet. But if you've got a wooden floor, it's got a water tank. It'll keep the mop bit wet and it'll wet the floor. Whether that constitutes cleaning the floor is another question.
I reckon it does.
Okay. You would know. I don't do mopping. Erin, would you have one of these at home? Do you think it's a useful thing for the average family to have?
100%. Yeah. Yeah, we've got a dog called Ponya and she's super fluffy, so we're spending like every 5 minutes hoovering up after her.
Vacuuming.
So this would be like really useful to have.
So what do you think about the overall finish of this robot? The way it looks and the way it's put together, the quality?
I think it's like really good quality actually.
It does seem like that to me. If it's got really good build quality and I think it works exactly as advertised. I've not heard of this brand Dreame before we received this robot, but I've got a rough idea of what a Roomba robot costs. How much do you think you would have to pay for one of these?
Like £400?
Okay, and how much does this actually cost? Tom, over there behind the camera.
£370 or $390.
£370 or $390, and I'll bet as well that there'll be offers available too. So we'll put a link in the description if we find any of those offers, but certainly we'll put a link to this robot if you want to pick up a Dreame Bot D9 Max. Hopefully I said it right. I think that's a pretty good value actually.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think for anyone who's in a situation where they have limited mobility and they're not able to vacuum their home, or for busy families, I think this makes an excellent investment.
Definitely.
So I hope you enjoyed this look at this interesting product, even though it's a bit of a departure from our normal content. And I think, Erin, this is the first time that I get to say, what a great product. It sucks.
That was awful, and this is the end of the video. As always, thank you so much for all of your likes, your shares, and your subscribes.
And I guess we'll see you soon for some more geekery.